Okay, so here's the dealio. Yes, I will be traveling for 3 weeks around Europe. It is my hashtag European Summer Vacation 2025 finally coming up. Here's a little bit of a breakdown about my trip in full. When my friend is getting married in France, she's getting married to a French girl. So my partner and I are flying into France for basically a long weekend to attend the wedding. And then we will be spending maybe like a week or 8 days in Spain, and then roughly the same amount of time, like 8 days in Italy. So we will be gone for basically 3 weeks. It will be his first time going to all 3 countries, actually. This will be his first time on the European continent, actually, now that I think about it. Regardless, the wedding itself is in the northern coast of France. I've never been up there. I have only spent time in Paris, but I have spent a lot of time around Spain and Italy, so I'm very, very excited to go back. I have been brushing up on my Spanish. I have not been brushing up on my Italian, but we'll deal with that when the time comes. But I wanted to show what I'm packing. This is not everything I'm taking. This is just the majority of what I'm taking. I still have basics like plain white t-shirt, plain black t-shirt, denim shorts that are folded in dresser drawers that I don't have hung up. This is just what I could easily show you. Now, full disclosure, I'm not actually leaving for another like week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. Unsure, but I wanted to get started on this now. One, because I hate leaving packing to the last minute. It stresses me out. And also 2, I wanted to give myself plenty of time to film all of this, which is going to be over the course of a couple days. I'm not going to complete everything right now, but give myself enough time to film this, edit this, and then upload this before we leave, basically, or like the day we leave. But because we're going for 3 weeks, I wanted to pack to make sure I covered all of my bases without going overboard. We are taking 1 carry-on each and then a checked bag, but because we're going during the height of summer, not my first choice. I wanted to avoid lugging around as much weight as possible under the heat and around so many people. So I'm trying to be conservative while also, like I said, still covering my bases, taking long pants or long dresses, taking things with sleeves. We'll be going into places that require shoulders to be covered, that kind of thing. Now, two things to note before we actually get started. One, the way I pack. Starting when we went to Korea, my family and I, last year, 2024, I created a spreadsheet. This is very type A of me, but I created a spreadsheet that broke down everything I was packing, all the tops I was taking, all of the bottoms I was taking, jackets, etc., etc. But it's just a way to help me stay organized. It's a way for me to know exactly what I'm taking so I can mix and match. I'm not taking anything that is kind of just like a one-off, can only be worn with one specific thing. So I am not overpacking as well. And the second thing, if you have been keeping up with the news, international news, reading international news, you might know that Europe, much of Europe, is experiencing an over-tourism crisis. The most popular hotspots like Rome, Athens, Barcelona are really pushing back on over-tourism. It is contributing to inflation, rising costs of living. Rental properties are pushing out local natives to live there. It's a delicate balance because a lot of these places also rely on tourism for their economies. But I know there's a lot of unrest about the tourism industry in those places. Like I said, this wedding is happening in July, which wasn't anybody's first choice. I think they would have preferred the wedding to take place in September, which would have avoided the height of summer season, but it is what it is. My partner and I will be traveling to Madrid, Barcelona, and Valencia in Spain, and then Lake Garda in Italy. Because of everything that's going on with tourism in Europe, and then also there is the Jubilee, which is like a Catholic celebration. I wanted to avoid all of the high traffic touristy places in Italy specifically, like Rome and Florence. I wanted to go somewhere near a body of water, so it was either Lake Como or Lake Garda, and we just decided on Lake Garda. I think because it's cheaper technically than Lake Como a little bit, but yes. Despite everything that's going on, I wanted to avoid the touristy places as much as possible. Barcelona also, I will admit, wasn't even on my list of places to go in Spain. I could have avoided Barcelona, but my partner really, really wanted to go. That being said, we will be very vigilant and careful and incredibly mindful of the way we conduct ourselves when we're over there. We will be incredibly respectful, we will not draw any attention to ourselves, and we will be good tourists, as all tourists should be, but unfortunately all tourists are not. So with those things being said and those things out of the way, let's get back into packing portion. All right, and then in my little mini DIY first aid kit, which I am reusing the bag they gave us on the flight we took to Korea. I kept all of these bags, but it's basically just an assortment of pills. We have ibuprofen, charcoal pills for stomach aches, acetaminophen, some, what is this? I think this is like Korean Advil. And then some Claritin, and then an assortment of Band-Aids in different sizes. But you can never be too prepared, I say. I have something like this in my car, and I switch out the pills whenever they expire. And here's the bag that I use for my mini watercolor travel set. I'm just reusing the same bag. But inside I have an assortment of pens, my watercolor brushes, and my little mini watercolor set. Well, hello. Now, transparently, it is a different day, but I'm just wearing the same outfit for continuity's sake. But today is the day I am finally doing the actual packing of the clothes into my suitcase. So, let's get started. Okay, we're going to time-lapse the packing portion. It gets pretty repetitive, not going to lie, but I remember my dad telling me in high school to roll my clothes while packing. It saves a lot of space, and so that's what I've done ever since. And especially now with this trip, I'm surprised that I was able to fit basically all of my clothes into just my carry-on size bag, because it's not like I'm taking only a few things. I realized I'm taking a lot of clothes, but miraculously I was able to fit basically everything into my carry-on size bag. Okay, this is gonna have to go into our checked bag, because I need this space for my undergarments, you know what I'm saying? Can't forget about the sleepwear and the loungewear. Okay, as I was pulling out my socks, you know what I just realized? I also didn't make any room for my shoes, so those will also have to go into the checked bag. I am only taking 5 pairs of shoes though, including the ones that I'm wearing onto the plane. So they're the ones I'm wearing onto the plane, a pair of sneakers, like more comfortable actual sneakers, my wedding shoes that are versatile and can be worn if we want to go somewhere nice, my Nike slides, and a pair of sandals. Now, all of this was packed basically a week before our actual departure, so there's a bit of last minute shuffling to do, but this was basically everything packed into my bag. My shoes and jacket will go into our checked bag, and all of the other miscellaneous stuff will go into my personal bag. But that was basically everything. Thanks for watching and keeping me company while I packed, and the next time I see you, I'm gonna be in Europe. Bye!